guys, it's Laura. I'm back with an update of the 21 Day Fix round 2 and my results and what I thought of it and any modifications I might have made, hint hint. So basically, I started out 21 Day Fix round 2 about 3 days after I finished round 1. I had a couple cheat days, and it was really needed, I think. I was really ready to get back at it after like one day. I was like, you know, this is great and everything, but I'm just like ready to get back at it because I felt so good when I was on it. So I went back on the 21 Day Fix, started round 2, and I was getting bored of the workouts. The food was still like working for me. I could still do the nutrition program, but the workouts, since I'd already seen all of them and done all of them several times really, I was a little bit over that. Yeah, so I did 2 weeks. I did it how I was supposed to, followed all the rules, and then it got a little difficult because I was doing this in May, and May was a super crazy month for my family. We had 2 birthdays, 3 birthdays really, because we celebrated one from April, and Mother's Day, and graduation. One of my sisters graduated, so I was constantly driving to my parents' house and doing stuff for all of those events and couldn't completely follow the meal plan. I mean, I could, but I didn't really want to when it was like, you know, an event. I did my best. I still tried to stick with healthy foods, but I did allow myself to have some unhealthy foods like dessert in moderation. I know moderation is kind of like very cliche for dieting and everything, but that's kind of what I did. So, like I was saying, I finished 2 weeks of the 21 Day Fix, doing all the workouts every day, following the meal plan, I think exactly. And then week 3 happened, and that's when things kind of started to fall apart a little bit, which I thought was a bad thing at first, but ended up being a good thing. It ended up being pretty positive because I kind of was able to see how I could maintain it in my real life when I'm not on the 21 Day Fix round whatever. Figured out how it could become more of a lifestyle and less of a diet. So I allowed myself to have a couple of my vices, which would be like dessert. Started allowing myself probably 2 desserts a week, 2 cheat meals a week, and that meant still tracking it, like protein if I had chicken or whatever, vegetables, carbs, so on and so forth. But I didn't only stick to the ones on the list. So I still like didn't go overboard, like say carbs or something like that. I still tried to keep it like in my daily allotment of carbs, but I didn't only do whole wheat carbs. I did like, you know, crappy carbs like cake or something like that, but I didn't go overboard with it. And I think that kind of helped me to see like, oh, when I do need these other things, I can have them, but I don't have to completely break my diet, I guess. So that was helpful, and I also allowed myself to have some Diet Coke, which I know Diet Coke is not great for you, but I mean, it's 0 calories, so that's kind of how I can justify it, but I didn't want to have that every day. I know that's not good for you. That's a whole nother story, but for my sanity purposes, I allowed myself to have some in the second round. I didn't have any in the first round of the 21 Day Fix. I was very good, but that kind of helped me see how unsustainable that lifestyle really was. I mean, I could consider giving up soda in the future, giving up Diet Coke. That's pretty much the only one I drink in the future, but that's kind of its own little thing that is going to take its own little amount of effort and concentration, and I don't know, right now I just need to do one thing at a time, I think, to be able to sustain it. So anyway, yeah, so it kind of made some modifications to the 21 Day Fix to make it more of like beyond 21 days, if you will. So yeah, and oh, my results. So on round 2, which ended up being like 2 weeks of round 2, 2 weeks of my more flexible plan, I guess, I lost 4.8 pounds and 1.5 inches. So, yes. The weird thing is I didn't lose any of my legs in inches. I didn't lose any inches in my legs. I didn't lose any inches in my arms. I lost like 1/2 inch in my chest and an entire inch in my waist, which right now that's kind of my waist is, my waist is more of my problem area right now anyway. So if I do lose more in my waist than in my arms and legs, right now I'm okay with it. Eventually I'd like to still lose some in my arms and legs too, but right now I am okay with losing it in my waist. And I'm happy with 5 pounds. It ended up being, like I said, like 4 weeks. So that's a little over 1 pound a week. And I think that's a little more sustainable than my first 21 days where I lost 10 pounds. That was great, but I was a little scared because I've always heard if you lose weight fast, then you have trouble keeping it off. And I really want to keep it off. I'm not going to do all this work and then just gain it back. Hopefully. 21 Day Fix round 2-ish. I would say a success because I've kind of figured out how I want my lifestyle to be and how to sustain weight loss, slow weight loss, but doable weight loss. And so I hopefully won't gorge myself in the end and have to, like, you know, I don't even know what. So hopefully this plan is more sustainable than the 21-day very clean eating plan. Also, I have just started, today was my first day of 21 Day Fix Extreme, and I am, so far the workout kicked my butt and I like it. I felt really good after the workout for sure. I am also following the meal plan for that. I'm gonna do it as strict as possible, but if I get desperate, I may allow myself a Diet Coke or something that's not gonna break it completely for me. Yeah, but I'm going to do my best to stick to it. Hopefully 90%. That's my goal. I mean, my goal is 100%, but I'm going to allow myself to only be 90% successful, which is still an A, so I'm fine with it. Yeah, that's all I have. I plan to update you when I finish 21 Day Fix Extreme. I'm very excited, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye! I look really pale. Guys, I promise I really am this pale in real life. Okay, maybe not. Pretty close. Yeah, it's pretty accurate. Doesn't help that I'm wearing like bright lips and like have dark hair. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay.
I wonder if I can like change how I look so pale. Because I'm really like struggling over here.
Girlfriend needs a tan. I look like a vampire.